All right, guys. So last night, I'm in the bed. Well, I ain't in the bed. I'm sleeping on the floor. I can't sleep in the bed because I got a CPAP machine, as y'all know. So when the baby in the bed, you can't sleep in the bed with the baby unless you are alert. So one of the things that you can't have is a CPAP machine, because if you sleep so soundly with the CPAP machine. And salute to the CPAP machine, man. That thing changed my life, man. I used to snore like a bear. Literally. Like a bear. And I didn't get enough oxygen to my brain. But that's beside the point. So now, I sleep with the CPAP machine, so I can't sleep in the bed with my baby at night and my wife. So I gotta sleep on the floor in the living room. So I'm leaving the floor in the living room. And I look out the window. First off, the lights are blaring through my window. Like, all I see is lights. I don't know what the hell. I'm like, what the hell going on outside? I look out the window, and I see this pasty, white liberal getting medical attention. And police cars all over the place. I say, let me go outside and be nosy. I fought the urge, man. I fought the urge. I was like, man, because it's always something happening over here at this building. But I was like, we fought the urge. I said, I don't know. And if you know anything about my building, that's my boy right there. He a chef. He got his own little business and whatnot. But if you know anything about my building, it's about 60% black and 40% white, or 40% black and 60% white. It depends on the day, because there's so much turnover in the building. You know what I'm saying? People come and they go a lot. But the black people in the building are very, like, working class. These ain't like niggas. And the neighborhood is a decent neighborhood. It have its little trouble spots and whatnot. It's a shot spotter a block away. But the immediate area around the building is pretty good. I mean, yeah, last year there was a shooting outside. A guy got killed right outside the building, and the guy who killed him missed some shots, and a bullet went through the one. My buddy downstairs went through his window. He got hit. One of the guys that live on the first floor. But compared to DC, where all the other neighborhoods where people getting killed in the streets every day in these neighborhoods, it's pretty good, pretty decent neighborhood. And the black people around here are not like, they're not all niggas. Like, it's some niggas, but it's like just regular black folk and shit. Like, they woke and everything, don't get me wrong, but they don't do the stuff that they excuse other black people for. They like white liberals. Their kids ain't doing none of that stuff. They ain't letting their kids do none of that crazy shit. Their kids going to private school. Their kids going to summer camp in the mountains. But they'll make excuses for other people's kids that's shooting and killing each other and robbing people in the middle of the street. Like what happened to this white guy. So this white guy was jumped by some brothers for his phone. They stealing phones now. 2021, the brothers is running up on white liberals that was protesting in the street. And listen, I do not feel sorry for these white liberals. I don't feel sorry for this guy. He was shaking up. He had a bruise on his face. I could tell because my camera's so wicked, man. I get all the way in there, man. He had a bruise on his face. He had bloody mouth. He had scratches and cuts on his hands. I think they stomped him out, but they took his phone. And I don't feel sorry for them. Because I remember last year, I was driving, me and my wife was going somewhere. I forgot where we was going, but we was going somewhere. We was over there off of Pennsylvania Avenue in D.C. You know. That's on the southeast side. Not southeast, but southeast. And these pasty white liberals had the street blocked off, but I didn't know, really. I didn't know, because I was driving, and then there's all these cars stopped in front of me, and it's not really, that's not the type of street where it would be bumper-to-bumper traffic like it's an accident on the goddamn highway. This the type of street where, yeah, you gonna stop at the red light, but then you gonna go. It was traffic like 495 with a damn tractor trailer tipped over some shit in the middle of the road. For, you know what I'm saying? It was traffic like that, and I was like, damn, why the fuck is so much traffic? And then I smelled bologna, and I was like, the hell going on? Cars backed up like a goddamn truck delivering 2x4s to Home Depot tipped over, and the whole damn load was strewn all across the highway. And they had to get, you know, special services to come and clean it up so traffic could. And I'm like, we on a regular avenue in D.C., and then I'm smelling bologna. Guess what? Pasty white liberals blocking off the street because if black people, Black Lives Matter, and if black people can't just walk around without being attacked by police, nobody can drive through these streets. I'm like, what the fuck? Man, I was like, if I was at the front of the line, I would have mowed them motherfuckers down. I'd have drove right through that shit. I'd have been like, sorry, baby, we going out like Thelma and Louise. Bunch of crackers these crackers won't speak to you either. I mean, you don't get me wrong. The women, they choosing fellas. The ladies is choosing fellas. Don't get me wrong. The Karens is choosing fellas. But they terrified of us for these reasons. And this other white guy right here in the red hat, he tried to help him. He was over there. He was apologizing. He's like, man, I wish I could have did more. Cause that white guy be smoking weed over on the side of the building all day. All he do is sit there over there smoke weed all day. So he must have just been out there and seen it. He must have tried to help him, but you can't help nobody when the brothers jump on you. They might jump on you. He was like, I'm sorry, man. I wish I could have did more. And I was like, no, it's all right. Thank you. I don't know why it's no sound. Because when I recorded it, I thought it was sound, but it ended up being muted. Whatever. I don't know how to change I just got this phone, so I guess I gotta change it to where it records sound. Yeah, cops leaving. Cops like, man, you should have known, white liberal. You was out there protesting and shit. These motherfuckers protested. They used to. That's not the only time that I got caught. I'm driving somewhere, they done blocked off the goddamn street. That happened several times. That been happening since, a lot of people don't know, like 2014, Michael Brown and shit like that. 2012, Trayvon, but it was just little spurts. It wasn't consistent. It wasn't steady. They didn't need a reason to be out the house. See, what a lot of black people don't know is that these pasty white liberals, like this guy who just got his ass kicked and his phone taken, they used George Floyd as a way to get out the house. Okay? Because what happened is quarantine and social distancing, white people, like in white neighborhoods, they really do that shit. They not like black people that just ignore that shit. Like white people, they get the vaccine, they do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? especially liberal white people. Liberal white people in their little enclaves in DC, like Noma, Tacoma. They got a lot of little places in DC where on the black side of town, because they got the whole west of 16th Street in DC is all white, lily white. You can't find a nigga over there unless they working. But east of 16th Street was all black. But then they gentrified it, so now you see white people all throughout there. The white people on that side, the gentrifiers, all got, great jobs. They're not like homegrown. These are not like people that went to DC public school and shit, or went to school in DC. These people are from other places, and they came to DC for jobs. You got to understand, all the congressmen and all the senators live in DC. Okay? So you have pages, staffers, paralegal. You got all types of people connected with them. It's a million jobs just connected with the Capitol building, the congressmen and the senators that all live here. That's where they live here. The White House, all those jobs. Then you have a whole bunch of businesses, and then you got the federal government. You got the city government. You got all types of startups. It's not a lot of tech, but a lot of different businesses like that's coming here that are here. DC is a bubbling metropolis. They got so many jobs here, man, they can't give them all away. Okay? So you got a lot of white people here in DC that are $100,000 a year, high earning people. They the tax base. Okay? A lot of them. And very few, like the ones I was telling you about yesterday in another video, trashy white people. We don't have trashy white people like Baltimore got. Like Baltimore got a lot of trashy white people. Philly got a lot of trashy white people. Jersey got a lot of trashy white people. We got like the type of white people you'll see in Manhattan. Or the gentrifiers you'll see in Brooklyn. We don't have like the white people you'll see in Bensonhurst or Howard Beach. Or Floribama. Or West Virginia. We don't have them type of white people in DC. All our white people are like, people with lots of money, good jobs, pay $3,000 for a one-bedroom apartment. Ride a bike to work. Make $150,000 and ride a bike to work because they want to help the environment and shit. And then travel, take 20 flights a year all over the world traveling and don't see the fucking hypocrisy. Like planes don't use fuel. But they living their best life. And the only problem is niggas. Because this city would be a great city if it wasn't for niggas in the crime. It would be a black utopia. It would have been a black utopia back in the 60s and 80s, the 60s and 70s and 80s, in the 90s. DC would have been a black utopia. Because you had a lot of black people here with great jobs and money, but they all moved out to Prince George's County to get away from niggas. But yeah, man, this happened right outside. I said, damn. I was out there ear hustling and everything. I couldn't catch everything, but what I could catch, like, he got his ass whooped and his phone took. And the other white guy tried to help him, but when he helped, I think he meant like, hey, trying to make a scene and shit so the guys will run off, not like actually putting hands on the guys. Yeah, I don't feel sorry for them. They used black men as an excuse to get the fuck out the house during the pandemic. Having drum circles and poetry readings and shit. They ain't know nobody was out there watching their ass. They wasn't out there protesting the whole time. They was protesting for the cameras. They was out there fucking getting out the house. They follow the CDC guidelines. When Fauci say, they follow the CDC guidelines. When Fauci say something, them mother do it. Okay? They do it. Especially when they seen that it was going to help cause a lot of a pandemic was going to make early voting a thing, so they could get all the black people votes in the middle of the George Floyd bullshit. And then by the time black people figured out, oh shit, this was all a scam, they had already voted. You ain't know that. All them black people had already voted. And a lot of Americans had already voted. Like, wait a second, when they realized, oh shit, y'all just used this as a way to get out the house and have drum circles and poetry readings, spoken word contests. That's what they was doing. In between, every once in a while, no justice, no peace, no racist police. Stop criminalizing blackness. Pigs in the blankets, cook them like bacon, and all this shit. And that shit's fun too. Because I told you I used to protest with Black Lives Matter in 2012 and 2014. I've been out there with them, man. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't on the bullhorn. I was just more of an observer. I wasn't like out there trying to I wasn't doing too much, but I was out there. It was a wave. It was just a little. It wasn't like a tsunami like it was this year. It was just a wave back then. They be out there having fun, man. Lying down in the street, blocking traffic. Just being bad. It's like, that little kid, Ladarian Milton, little kid that used to, he had that viral video. It was like, I like doing hood rat stuff with my friends, smoking with cigarettes. That's all these white people was doing hood rat stuff with their friends, being rebellious, fighting the power and shit, and out there being, jackasses, living their second childhood. But it gave them a chance to get the hell out the house. They got to get out the house during the middle of a pandemic. And justifiably. So they didn't, because niggas don't care. Niggas, like I told you, niggas was having cookouts and block parties and shit. But the white people felt like they had to, they'd do the right thing and shit. Or what was supposedly the right thing. And the only way they could really justify being out the house, I'm going to protest. They downtown, they had food-based stations with food, people selling food, people selling water. They got to do shit they never did before, because most of these motherfuckers never busted the grapes. They got to spray paint on the side of federal buildings and break windows and yell at police, get in cops' faces while because cops, they had a little line. They would have a line like where they would just be like, all right, y'all ain't going past here, or this building right here now, y'all can't go in this building. And they would form a line of cops and they just stand there like the soldiers and shit. And white people just screaming in their face, fuck you, you racist, you killing my people. Then they go over, 30 minutes later, you see them, they having a drum circle. Then back to, you racist, you killing black people, black bodies, black bodies. And you look over 20 minutes later and it's fucking a dance off and shit. Motherfucker, a dance circle, somebody twerking in the middle and shit. And then the next person get in and then they having a poetry reading over here. And it's like, oh, y'all just having like a cultural festival type. And then they take over a whole part of this downtown area and claim it like they did in D.C. They claimed the whole area. So that in that area, you could just, they had all types of shit, like people talking, like, oh, might go over here, be a motherfucker giving a speech and shit, and people just listening and rapt attention. Then over here, it'd be a drum circle, then down there, it'd be like somebody with a boom box playing, like, music and people dancing, and over here, there'd just be people sitting, white people sitting Indian style, sitting in a circle on some grass, like eating and shit. It was just an excuse to get the hell out the house. So I don't feel sorry that now all over town these white liberals are getting attacked by these niggas, because this happens all the time. Y'all don't know how often this happens, man, because they don't report it unless it's an Asian. See, if this guy was Asian, this would be on all over the news. They'd be reporting on this in almost in every city. The New York news, the LA news, Good Morning America, they would be reporting on it. But this, everybody would be reporting on it. This guy ain't no Asian, though. He just a white guy. And look at his friend. I think this lady was related to him. She came up. She was like, what happened? Oh, my God. He was like, they jumped me from my phone. Goddamn idiot. This happens so often too. And they try to act like it's not happening, because now they so damn deep in the woke rabbit hole that they gotta try to act like it ain't happening to them too. They can ignore black on black crime. That's one thing. They can ignore black on black crime. They don't mind doing that. Now they gotta ignore black on white crime. I'm telling you, man. You guys know I got all the inside information, man. I only salute to Alan Henney and DC Real Time News, Kilmo News, all the dudes that they do the work on the. They get all the stories from the streets. These white folk be getting bonked upside the head and robbed and all types of all day long. They took a statement, and left. I don't know if they pressed charges. I don't know if they took I know they took a police report, but I don't know if they don't have nobody to press charge for. They got to look for a suspect. This the type of shit, they ain't gonna catch nobody behind this shit. All these damn murders in D.C. is a shooting every like 2 hours in D.C. How the hell they gonna fucking wait? Have some time. Have some time to worry about this shit. You getting robbed for your cell phone. Because what they do is they take the cell phone and they go, it's places they can sell the cell phone for like $100 or something. It's like little boxes and stuff where you just stick the cell phone in and they give you $100 for it. It's a very low level crime, but you know, this guy looks like Sweet Vic. This the type of guy we definitely would have got him when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, that was like, we would salivate when we see a guy like this. Oh shit. Look around, make sure ain't no cops around. Follow him and shit from a distance. Make sure ain't nobody else on the street. Hopefully he walked down a quiet street. Run up on him. Boom. Take all this stuff, run off, feeling like we done robbed a bank or something. Like we was stars of the movie Heat. Get home, talk about it, man. Yeah. But I wish as much as black on black crime happened to black people, I wish that much would happen to white people. White liberals that live in these cities that used us as an excuse to get the hell up out the house during the pandemic. I don't feel sorry for you. Peace. I'm out.